Hello everybody, it's Josie here and I'm back with another one of my smash or trash videos. I've decided to go quite Christmassy theme today, so I've got my Christmas earrings, my Christmas jumper, my lovely little mini tree is up because it is the 2nd of December and I get to have my first Advent chocolate today, so I'm quite happy about that. But anyway, moving on from Christmas, the book I'm talking about is not actually a Christmas themed book, but I still wanted to talk about it because yeah, I had some really strong feelings about this book while reading it, and the book I'm talking about is The Brilliant Death by Amy Rose Capetta. This book I read as part of the Fall Into Fantasy Readathon, and it was a buddy read with Cece from Problems of a Book Nerd. I was really looking forward to this book when I read the synopsis earlier on in the year, and I have to say I wasn't disappointed. So the synopsis of this particular one is that it's a YA fantasy novel essentially, but it's like a I suppose an alternative Italy. So you've got the ruling families, and then you've got the different regions of this world, and then you've got the capo up in the capital, who are, I suppose, it's a bit mafia inspired, I guess, and they rule over all. So what happens with this book is that your main protagonist, Teodora, is a magician. So she's a strega. And she has the ability to turn her family's enemies into inanimate objects, so she can turn them into mirrors or music boxes, but she has to hide her power because magic is frowned upon, or so she believes. Then you have I guess, the main event that happens in the beginning of this book is that the capo have, well, we assume it's the capo, have poisoned the heads of all 5 of the families, including Teodora's father. And what is meant to happen is that the families will send their eldest son off to the capital to go and negotiate and see the way forward for the country. Now, Teodora's brothers are not really that up for the challenge. Her oldest brother is an absolute nightmare. So Teodora sets off on this journey to the capital, and that's really where our story kicks off. And on the way, she also meets another strega, Cielo. I think I'm saying that right, I don't know. And Cielo is a shapeshifter, and they can shapeshift between male and female and animal forms. And what I loved about this book is that element, is that discussion around gender and gender fluidity and what it means to be a woman, what it means to be a man, what it means to be comfortable in your own skin. Because throughout this journey, Cielo basically teaches Teodora about magic, but she also teaches her about being comfortable in your own skin, being the person you want to be and not being afraid. And there's quite a few lines in this book where it's something along the lines of I'm a girl, or, you know, girls aren't valued, female isn't valued, you need to be male to be strong, and challenging that view as well, and also challenging the view that we have to be either male or female, whether it be through conforming through appearance, through behaviour, through status. And that is what I loved most about this book. Don't get me wrong, the story is fun, it's a great read. The main characters are beautifully fleshed out. I really kind of, I guess Teodora really captured me, because I had struggled with that kind of female-male energy myself. It's amazing to see someone on the page in a book like this, and to really have that discussion around gender, again, in a fantasy sort of YA book. It's not necessarily something that you usually come across, and it's something I loved about the other book I actually read, Saw Kill Girls, and I did a separate video on that if you want to watch that one. But this one, just the idea of swapping genders, of not being fixed, I loved that discussion. And for that alone, I think Amy Rose Capetta did a wonderful job, and I'd give her 5 stars for this book. Regardless of the story, I suppose negatively, some of the characters, some of the peripheral characters weren't that fleshed out. So Teodora's eldest brother, for example, he was a nightmare, but I don't know why he was a nightmare. And I also think it's a beautiful ending, but it does lend itself to a sequel. And I would be more than happy to read that, because I would love to revisit these 2 characters and this love story and this discussion on gender and see where it goes, where it can go further. But even if it doesn't, as it stands, this was a brilliant book. for anyone like me, I recommend it. It is wonderful. It is wonderfully written. It is also a great fun read. So smash hit for me. 5 stars. Gorgeous book. Beautiful book to look at as well. Loved it. Love Amy Rose Capetto for writing it. Yeah, I'd recommend it to anyone. Right, so that's my say. I will speak to you guys soon. Have a good first Advent. Bye bye.